Moisés Caicedo, Kendry Páez, Piero Hincapié, what do they all have in common? They play for the same club as kids, Independiente del Valle, one of the smallest clubs in South America with a budget of under $5 million. This is a club with no historic trophy case, no billionaire owners. It's gone on to beat the likes of River Plate, Flamengo, some of the biggest clubs in South America, and even made it to a Copa Libertadores final in 2019. How have they done this? In this video, I'll go into detail about the process, where they are now, and what the future looks like. Independiente del Valle, turning teenagers into superstars and outsmarting South American giants. For decades, Independiente del Valle was just a nothing club. Founded in 1958, they were bouncing between the low divisions of South America, until 2007, where a group of people had a vision. A group of local investors came together to buy the club, and what was their idea? Not money, but youth. They built an academy. They looked at the likes of Ajax, Anderlecht, Chelsea, built an academy. They hired youth coaches, made state-of-the-art equipment. The academy is the heart of everything for Independiente del Valle. It's a campus that they live on. The kids learn, they work on their mental skills, they work on their health, they work on becoming the best possible football players they can. And a lot of these players came from nothing, came from some of the poorest parts of Ecuador. So giving them this opportunity would only lead to good things. And a pure example of that is Moisés Caicedo, who made his debut for Independiente del Valle at 17 years old in 2020 and was then sold to Brighton for €5 million. And within 2 years was dominating midfields in the Premier League. There's also another wonder kid who's just on the horizon and on his way to Chelsea as well, Kendry Páez. He made his debut at 15 years old and was dominating some of the biggest teams in South America and some of the biggest competitions in South America. And now he's on his way to Chelsea for €15 million and someone called the next big thing out of South America. Independiente del Valle isn't just creating players, they're making superstars. While Boca Juniors and River Plate and Flamengo, clubs along those lines, focus on big money signings within South America, Independiente del Valle is different. They focus on systems. Because of the exuberant youth they have, they focus on high pressing systems, which catches teams out. In 2016, they shocked the whole of South America, making the Copa Libertadores final, beating the likes of Boca Juniors and River Plate. And then in 2019 and 2022, using this system, they also made it to the final and won the Copa Sudamericana, which is the South American equivalent to the Europa League. Now, their business model is also a very key part to this. As I mentioned, they reinvest heavily into youth academies. So when they make these sales like Moisés Caicedo, like Kendry Páez, like Piero Hincapié, they also include sell-on clauses within those contracts. So when Moisés Caicedo got sold to Chelsea for a Premier League record of £120 million, within that contract, there was a sell-on clause that Independiente del Valle included, which netted them around $20 million. And again, using that money, you would think, right, let me buy some big players and do that. No, they reinvested into where they got started, into the youth academy, bringing in state-of-the-art equipment, improving their stadium, improving the facilities they have around the stadium, and also helping the area in which their club is based in. By doing this, it's smart, it's sustainable, and clearly it's working. Now, where has this led them, internationally anyway? Listen, the fact that they've produced so many big talents, it's caught the attention of global giants within football. Clubs such as Real Madrid and Manchester United are sending scouts over to Ecuador to watch players so that they can grab them even before Independiente del Valle even does in the first place. Like, imagine that, right? They've done so well, a small club Ecuador have done so well, the fact that these global giants are now mentioning their names and now even looking at them as reference for scouts. There's even a part where clubs such as Bayer Leverkusen and Chelsea are actually setting up camps in Ecuador, bringing in the youth as well. So again, it's just showing that this project that was built in 2007 has gone into a global scale, and Europe's giants are now realizing this. What's the dream for them now? Well, their dream is to win the Copa Libertadores. They made it to the final once, but if they reinvest into their academy the way they are doing, without a shadow of a doubt, they will win it at some point in the future. In a world obsessed with money, fame, riches, the one thing that's come to show is that, listen, if you have a good structure and a good youth academy, Independiente del Valle is a perfect example that money doesn't mean everything. They've made it to finals. They've sold players for big money. Independiente del Valle just goes to show that there's still hope for the little man. With a With a budget of under $5 million, they've made so much success in a short amount of time. Give it another 10, 15 years, where did it go from there? Now that was my first video, right? In the comments, let me know what other clubs you want me to look at, what other projects you want me to look at, because again, I'm really interested in these kind of things. The stories of football. Where do clubs come from? Where do players come from? I want to know more. So again, in the comments, like, subscribe, and let me know what other clubs I should do next. Peace.